been noticeable over the last couple of weeks how hard Gabi is now hitting the ball off at Chevaux as she's setting. And whenever she's got a seam, whenever she's got a single blocker, she's making the shot look easy. That is such clever play. That's a true professional at work there.
Dealing with pressure from the beginning, really young age, I understood that was with work. Because what gives me confidence, like people sometimes ask, but how you can just receive with such confidence, or you just do some stuff that looks easier, this kind of stuff. And I always looks a cliche, but that's the truth, in the end it's the work. Because if I'm doing things like eating good, sleeping good, taking care of my body, practicing with the right mentality and doing my best every day, I just come with the match with the confidence, And when the things goes good, I have the flow, I have the confidence. And then when the things are not going good, I'm like, okay, I will work on the things and I will try to improve the things. So what brings me confidence, especially in the match and the big matches, is the work, I always look back, even in the locker room, I think, and I'm like, even when come these butterflies, because it always comes, in the big match and the big moments, there is a big match, we need to win, we want to win, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready, Everything that I work, I look back and I look at this, I'm ready to do the things, I know everything that I work on, so I just switch to the right mindset, and then I'm ready for the things. Also the change, okay, now it's the moment to build, to make some steps in my career, to show what Gabi is capable of doing, to make this a step, not only being a player, but trying to be around this top 10, 20 players in the world. And it was the moment that I understood that I need to bring something else. So it was the moment that I started to do therapy, that also this was so important for me. I was like, why I didn't start in such young age? So this is some advice that when young people or kids or families ask me, I always say it's important to have some psychologists, some people taking care of this mental part, someone that you can talk and can help you and also give you some tools, can it be coach or some mentor or something like that. So I started to do it, and I remember the first assessment that she was like, okay, we need to know each other and everything. I was talking a lot, the things that I needed, the difficulties that I was facing at the moment. And she was like, Gabi, you know a lot about yourself. Even when you talk, you understand what you need, what you want, where you want to go, the things that you want to achieve. So I think for you is important because you are always so active, you started playing sport at such a young age, so you never stopped. I can see that you talk a lot, you are all the time doing something, but it's important to also have time for yourself, to breathe, to understand your feelings, to understand your emotions, what's happening, and talk with yourself a little bit. So this therapist was really important. She said, I think yoga will be good for you because in the end you can breathe, you can understand your mind, your body, but also you can move. From the first session, I understood a huge difference for me. After one session of yoga, 30 minutes, I feel a different person. I feel more energy, I feel more confidence, I understand myself, I understand my feelings, and I can deal with myself, So I remember this was also a big step. Like when you look to Gabi the first year when I came, and the second, third, fourth, and fifth, you could understand that even the Kurt, I was dealing better with emotions, with the feelings and everything.
Eu acho que no primeiro ano de trabalho juntos, o que ela nos impressionou, e a mim particularmente, foi a maturidade, a consciência que ela tinha da importância dos passos a serem dados. Certamente ela não tinha o conhecimento que ela tem hoje sobre a questão do cuidado com o corpo, de uma forma geral, do trabalho que ela tinha que fazer para se tornar uma jogadora, né, no padrão que ela se tornou hoje, né, top mundial.
In this process of knowing more myself, like that I was like, okay, I need to look more inside. It's not only about Gabi being a professional player, like who is Gabriela? Who is Gabriela Guimarães? Who am I, out of volleyball? So in this moment, like when I was in Vakif, that I was looking more, understanding more myself, getting more connected to myself, I started to watch some podcasts with making interviews with a lot of people, like presidents of companies, CEOs, Ironman athletes, people around the world that have a big success. And all of them were talking about mental health, how they sleep, what they eat and everything. All these top athletes, they were talking about it. And of course, like we care about what we eat and all of the stuff. But I didn't have like this specific diet or things like understanding what my body really, really needs to perform my best. I was watching some podcasts, reading some books, and then came the book of Djokovic. There's one book that he talks about how his career changed when he's changed his diet. And he was talking about not eating gluten so much, like no sugar and all of these things. I was like, okay, I want to try, I was always like eating good and trying to balance. But especially when I like stopped eating sugar and like taking off some stuff, like some gluten or some lactose and eating more and more healthy. First 2 months was a huge impact, like how I was recovering my body, how I was sleeping, how I was like handling better the practice, how I could gain more power and more strength, and especially like mentally, because when I was looking like, okay, I decided now I don't want to eat sugar anymore, I don't want to eat chocolate. And then I was looking into the chocolate, I was like, okay, this was kind of challenging myself also, because I like this kind of challenge. And I was like, if I cannot beat this chocolate, how I can beat the things that I want to reach, So I was playing a little bit with my mind. So I always have these kind of trick situations, when I want to eat something, I'm like, okay, like today I feel I want to eat something, I was like, no.
Of course, everyone is professional that I played with, and I've been in really good clubs with great players, but I think she just stands out because she is just like more, not extreme in a way, but kind of like she's just so dedicated to the sport, and she really wants to be 100% every day, so she would do anything to perform. And just like how she is approaching practices and dealing with like difficult moments, like she's always trying to be better, like reading books, listening to podcasts, and like we always have like good things, like we always talk about things together, and like she just wants to grow all the time. And I don't know, I just learned so much from her in like being brave on court, because she's always been like a risk taker. She's always the one like wanting the balls in the difficult moments, scoring the balls when we really need it. So yeah, she's just very different in that way.